Hey guys, and welcome back to Ambition Strikes. If you're new here, Courtney and I have been building this off-grid property for the last few years, and recently we tried our best to solve our biggest problem, which was how we get water.
When we bought this property, we knew that wells were very deep and very low producing, sometimes even dry in the area, and so we started to look at alternative options.
This adventure started by looking into rain collection, but rain collection has a lot of challenges, especially in a winter climate where things freeze. In the process of looking at rain collection, I discovered these atmospheric water generators. Atmospheric water generators work on the premise that we can condense the humidity that's in the air down into liquid water and then store that water for later use. They use electricity to do that process, and here in North Idaho, we have a ton of sun during the summertime, which means we also have a lot of excess solar power. The thought was that we could use our excess solar power and turn it into water. One thing led to another, and before we knew it, we had a commercial-sized atmospheric water generator installed here on site.
Our water generator arrived right around the time that our baby Oliver was born, and we were so excited because it felt like we had the final solution to one of our biggest problems up here solved. We took delivery of our water maker in May, and we're now filming this video in August, so it's been a few months, and we really want to answer your most asked question, which is, how is it working? In the first few weeks following the installation of the unit, we weren't making very much water, but we just chalked that up to we weren't quite in ideal conditions yet. We were looking forward to June, which normally has warmer temperatures and a higher humidity.
So after those first few weeks, I started to notice that the machine was kind of running funny, and sometimes it didn't seem to be doing anything at all. So the company actually sent out a service technician, and he went through the entire thing. He actually rewired one of the circuit boards, and when he left here, he assured me that it was working correctly.
And so I think we entered June feeling very hopeful because they had run through the unit, everything was working correctly, and we were coming into ideal water making conditions.
And then come June, we hit the gold mine for atmospheric water generation conditions with temperatures around 85 degrees and humidity higher than 80%. And based on the chart on their website, we should have been making something like 220 gallons of water per day. But unfortunately, we were seeing water productions of less than a third of that, which wasn't even enough to keep up with our daily use. During my initial research on this unit, looking at the production charts on their website, looking at our weather patterns here in North Idaho, we should have been able to, during our peak solar months of the summertime, collect and store enough water to make it through the entire year.
But with consistently seeing outputs of 1/3 the rated output or less, we weren't meeting the mark on that.
In fact, we were barely even able to keep up with our daily usage around here. We'd initially felt like using this atmospheric water generator would be putting our excess electricity to its highest and best use of making a precious resource for us to use here of water. But now we're starting to think of, is that the highest and best use, or should we be using this excess power for something else like charging an electric vehicle?
I think when we initially decided to put it behind the house, it was, oh, it would be convenient to get to. It would be well protected from the elements. But it's loud.
When the unit's running, we're seeing a constant output of about 80 decibels of sound, which is equivalent to a vacuum cleaner.
Which doesn't sound that loud until you consider that you have to listen to that vacuum cleaner anytime you want to be making water, which is pretty much constant. So there's this constant droning noise outside when we're on the deck, when we're in the yard, when we're trying to film it.
So in hindsight, I think we should have put the unit further from the house, but that would have also complicated the install.
So we were feeling discouraged in June, but we didn't want to make this video then because we wanted to keep continuing to test the unit throughout summer to really make sure that our data was correct.
And over time, we found ourselves running the thing less and less and less because, well, it just wasn't working for us.
And so I think we've both come to the conclusion that this atmospheric water maker is not a really valid option for us.
I think it's a really cool technology. It's really exciting to think about using this excess resource that we have here to turn it into water. And I think it really could work. I see a lot of room for improvement on this technology. I think the manufacturer of that unit did a really good job of making this all-in-one unit that's got the storage tank in the bottom, it's got circulation pumps and filters and UV lights, and they really tried to make a single packaged unit that all you have to do is set it in place, plug it into power, and it'll spit water out. And from a thermodynamic standpoint, the company decided to use off-the-shelf air conditioning components, which is great because it means that pretty much any AC service tech could look at that thing and understand how it works and repair it anywhere in the world. But unfortunately, that also comes with the downside of it doesn't have any kind of smart controller that can adjust itself. So it doesn't make adjustments based on current temperature or relative humidity to change the temperature of the coil to match the dew point, which means that in temperatures below about 75 degrees, we found that the coil would freeze up, the compressor would shut off, the unit is still on, the fans are still running, it's still making a lot of noise, but it's not producing any water, until it can defrost the coil, go through a restart cycle, and turn back on again. And that dramatically reduced the water production of it. And while running this unit through a wide variety of temperatures and humidities, we've never seen anything greater than 1/3 of its rated output.
And that just isn't enough water to justify this as a solution for us, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's that simple. It doesn't make enough water to sustain us.
Which we're super bummed about because we were so excited. I mean, you guys watched us install it in that video. And we had so much fun installing it. We were really looking forward to it. And so really, it sucks.
This was a long time in the works. It's something that we've been really looking forward to. We felt like we had a solution, and it was a big blow to find out that it just doesn't work for us.
But I think we also have to remind ourselves that this is what we get to do. We get to try things. We get to share that information with you guys. I mean, learn by doing is something we've done for a long time. And I think we learned a lot in this. And so I really want to quickly touch on, a lot of you have asked, why isn't the install video up anymore?
That installation video is actually the most successful video we've ever posted. Our view count and our subscriber gains were just off the charts compared to anything we've ever seen before on our channel.
The video had 500,000 views in a couple weeks, and it was so fun. The growth was amazing. It felt like, oh, this hard work's paying off. But as we saw the water maker not producing what we felt like it should be producing, we started to realize that video was so positive, and we had people emailing us and messaging us, oh, I think this is going to be a great solution for me. I'm going to look into putting one at my mom's house. And so we had to stop and go, we need a follow-up to this video.
We realized that we were promoting this product and this technology as if it was this one-size-fits-all solution for anybody. And I think it might be a solution for some people in certain places and certain situations. But since it wasn't working for us, we didn't feel like we could continue promoting it as a solution. And so we made the really tough decision to take that video down. And so based on our experience and knowing what I know now, I don't think we're going to continue pursuing atmospheric water generation as a solution for us at this property. However, we found water. And you're going to want to stay tuned because we have an exciting video of potentially solving our water problems on this property once and for all, for real this time.
We're really excited to share that video with you guys, and it will be coming out very soon. In the meantime, we want to thank you guys for coming on this journey with us.
One of our goals on this channel is to do things differently, to try to push the envelope and push the boundaries, and that's exactly what happened with this project. So thanks for watching, thanks for bearing with us as we figure this stuff out, and we'll see you next time.
There's water in the hole.
What? I think this really is the motivation that I needed to keep making progress on this project.